We got to do it now because of the mess.
Where's our where's our media person?
Tell me when, Danielle.
Brought him in there.
Yeah, you can hit the.
Okay, yes.
No, not yet. We're live. Okay, good, beautiful. Welcome everybody to the December 1st 10 New Windsor 10 board workshop meeting. Before we get started, if we can get stand up. Yeah, December 1st. Right. Do the pledge here. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
If I'm less than perfect tonight, because I feel a little under the weather today, so just to give you guys a heads up. So before we get started, introduce everybody here with us today. We got Deputy Supervisor Steve Morrell, Councilwoman Debbie Santiago, Councilwoman Eve Lincoln, Councilman Charlie Brown, Highway Superintendent Anthony Fayos is with us, our Town Clerk Patricia Carino, Police Chief Danny Valeri hiding in the back there, and off to my right here is Dave Zigo, the Secretary. So I'm gonna try to make this an easy December for everybody.
Yeah.
So the first item on the agenda is the old Stewart Gym there. So as most of you know, I've been going after this hard for the last 2 years or so to sell it. I did have somebody come in and do original offer to me for. I think what they're looking to do is actually I met a gentleman that was looking to operate it. And he wants to turn the gym into like a. Yeah, just catering, offsite catering stuff. So he wants to make it a big whole facility and just make it his headquarters, if you will. So I met with him and another fellow that is going to probably be doing some of the renovations to the building. There's kind of two offers. One that they want to do the building. They offered a price for that, which was $700, and then they offered another one or $600. And then if they said they would give us $700, if I can guarantee them that another pad site on the property they would get approved. So I can't do that. That's another board. They operate independently. After I got the original quote, or after I got the original number from him, I called him back up. I said, "Listen, I said from day one I want to do 750. I want 750, just period, or I'm gonna let it sit. I don't care." And then they offered us 750.
Which one?
So they offered 750 for the gym, for the Stewart Gym itself.
No, which group? You said you had two offers. So were they from the same person?
Yeah, the same.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
what happens, there's gonna
Okay.
be two guys involved in what the offer is coming from,
Okay,
both
gotcha.
guys, if you will.
Okay.
One is their plan is to do like I said, to modify and do that gym. However, the only thing that will come with this is that, and I've always kind of wanted to do this, the Sue Kelly in between. There is some infrastructure under there. And I think it'd be a nice road to take off the list of us maintaining and plowing. They may need some of that road for parking. So the only thing I do want to just make sure that we don't get any snafus with the folks who just bought the property across the street, which is the RN Labs. They don't right now. They're not using that side of Sioux Kelly to access at all. So I don't think it's going to be any issues with them.
Gotcha.
But we will bounce off of them. But we do have a price. I know. He had called me the other day and asked me about it. I just told him, listen, we have some. My law office is obviously overwhelmed because of me, and I told him we are going to get to him with this because there's a couple different, couple different things that we're talking about for sale on property here. So, right now that stands. I think he's going to look probably to put. He's going to look to try to go to the board, to the planning board for another additional pad site, like a 5,000 square foot building in the front there. We talked about an infrastructure meeting. We looked at it, just really quick and didn't seem to see that there's gonna be a problem with it, but again, they'll have to work through that. So at some point, once the law office, I don't even know if this is possible, gets above water there, we'll actually entertain this and get moving with it. I'm sure there's not much use. Well, I mean, there could be a lot of work done inside, but it's going to be an as-is sale. There's a lot of issues inside that building. I want to do it. So that's on the radar, and that's going to hopefully be coming sooner rather than later. But we'll get to that. There's another one, Fox Hill Run. I actually did get a text. I get apparently that the group out there, that whole neighborhood that we just recently took over. They have a texting group, and apparently when they saw it on there, they thought Amazon was going to get it over here like this. So there's a parcel of property. If you pull into Fox Hill on the right hand side, there was a barn and a silo there. The barn is gone, but the silo remains. I had walked down there. I don't particularly care. The town certainly doesn't need the we don't have any use for the silo, and I don't want the responsibility of having it there. God forbid if something happens to it. The gentleman that lives right next to Fox Hill on the station there wants to. He's been hounding us for. I mean, prior to me becoming in this seat. Anyway, Dave for the law spoke to him a couple times. He wants part of it. This is going to be a little heavier lift, I think, because there's this parcel encumbers there's a drainage swale in the front that's part of Fox Hill drainage. It's part of that. The easement going up the entrance on the right hand side where the town mows is part of that. So we have to kind of lop it up a little bit in order to once we do it. He's going to be told, this guy, and we're willing to sell a little portion of some of its wetlands, so he's going to hopefully take that on. And he just wants to make his property a little bigger, if you will. I'm just going to make sure that there's no access from Fox Hill into this property. So, and I don't believe there will be. We got to take the swale. He's going to need to do surveys, and all this stuff's going to be on him. If he really wants to buy it, he's going to have to do all the survey. I imagine there's probably a recent survey. I say recent. I know Fox Hill's been around a long time, but I imagine a survey there he can piggyback on. So there is no number put on this yet, but I'm actively, in case you guys get any calls from any other constituents out there, that we are actively looking to sell this particular little parcel, but it's going to be chopped up a little bit to obviously there's wetlands there to protect it. I want to get rid of the silo because I don't need it falling down and hurting somebody. And this gentleman that lives around the corner there, Adam, is just been, he's interested and he wants to make sure that we do it. So just so you know, there's talks. I'll share more once we get a little further. Again, we're obviously a little busy over there next door. So but just so you know, that's on the horizon too, to get rid of that and move on from that. But yeah, there won't be any Amazon warehouses or big buildings on there. I can promise you that. This is just this financial utility software. I will tell you, what we're actually doing. I think you guys got a copy of this today in your mail. It kind of gives you more of a breakdown. We have this now. We're going the version's going to a cloud version, similar to what we're going to do with our phone. Doreen did this whole. She had John and McDonald and herself did this whole big workup. I told them it was necessary, but it's budgeted. I just want to let you guys know we're gonna, I have to authorize to sign it, and we're gonna sign this contract. This is something that accounting, she uses for general ledgers, and chief's office and the tax office use it for their utility billing as well. So this is going to be just a new version of this. Hopefully, unlike some of our other products we have right now, hopefully that this one works. We'll make sure that gets moving here for us. But that's going to happen in January. But again, like I said, it's no more cost to us. I just want you guys to be aware that they're getting the cloud version of it. We're going to be going to the cloud with a bunch of stuff here. So that's one of the. I will tell you this next one on the agenda. I'm not 100% certain. And I'm going to defer to Dave. But are we closer to the cell tower here in the back? Are we closer to something we're agreeing with them? I don't mean to put it a spot, but yeah.
We're waiting on them to get something back to us.
Okay, so
With regard to the discussions that we had.
yeah, okay, yeah.
a couple
So as you see, there's a cell tower in the back there. We have an agreement. And they, apparently one of the vendors on the cell tower is looking to leave. And the current owner of the cell tower, American Tower, is looking to negotiate with us to do some, they're going to reduce a little bit of their revenue for there. They're going to give us a one-time payment. Basically, if you look here, we negotiated, I think they wanted to give us like $5,000. I got it up to 24,500. The monthly rent for the cell tower is going to go down to 2,210. There's a 2% annual escalation clause. There's a revenue sharing, and the 3% escalation stays the same in here, and the restatement of the term does. David had looked at it, and we added a couple of things in there to protect us with it. But they needed to market. Apparently, there's enough cell towers around there. People if they're getting off of them, and this American Tower doesn't lessen their prices a little bit, they're going to leave, and then that revenue is going to hit us if you will. So we come to the one-time payment at 24,500, which is going to go out pretty far for us with the reduced revenue of that, if you will. We'll pick us up for that. So you're going to see a motion to authorize me to sign it once we finish the agreement. There's a timetable they needed to get this done with. So this is the reason why we push this through to get it done here. But I know, like I said, the law is doing it. Right now, the revenue for the 2026 budget is 34,430 for this. That's the leases through 2037. Wow. That just seems
Mhm.
like so far away, but probably is. So you're gonna see us authorizing for me to execute that, and then we'll get a check from them. We got a few checks coming soon. Don't favor. I just want to give everybody a heads up on here. 207 corridor in the next couple of years is going to be really interesting for the town of here.
It's not a.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I guess everything comes with a price, so the 207 in Morris Hills Road, if you're going west and you're going to the three overpass, you have people trying to make the left there.
Yeah.
And up, and it's
Nightmare.
Yeah.
so several years ago, the town has had some with Nick Minoya when he was filming Stowgate and out at the Grove, they had some agreement where they were going to widen the road, blah blah blah. None of that ever got done. So we had approached the state, and I'm on this OTCT board now with the county, and I was attending meetings. Myself and Jeff in my office do a lot on it. I know Lance McMillan and a few people in the state. We approached them and said, "Listen, we like to do this project, but the town of New Windsor is not going to pay for this." Fast forward to today, after several months of meetings and everything, the state has agreed to pick up the project and do it.
Wow.
It looks like it's going to be the design in 2026 and construction in 2027.
That would be a wreck for that.
What exactly is
construction,
it?
However, so what they're going to do is you're
Yeah.
going west on 207, where you're going to make a left. They're widening that road there
To make a left-hand
to
turn.
make the left-hand turn in there, and
I mean,
we're
a left lane.
and they're
only.
gonna reconstruct a little more hills coming on the 207, so when you make I know it's a pretty hectic coming out of more hills.
Yeah,
The left goes
yeah.
207.
Yeah,
That's impossible. It's like,
Yeah, it's
You gotta go
I know
right,
I've had
turn
some
around.
people.
Yeah, just make the left
other-
and the other
Too long ago
road.
said it's like taking your life in your own hands trying to make a left out of there,
Well,
but.
but they're only putting the lane in on 207,
So
not on.
they're gonna
Morrisville?
wide the Morsel Road. Morsel, believe it or not, is
Yeah.
pretty wide right there, but that's the town part of it. The rest of the
I
207.
love when they get to the right and they gotta make a left, you like can't get around.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
And I have to ask, is it ever would it then ever escalate to a traffic light? Has that
That's
even
the
been in the
question.
So-
discussion?
Yeah, I think
That's a good question. We're hoping, the only problem is, and not that there's not around,
It's
down the street,
right.
it's very close to 207 and 300. I
Yeah.
think 207 and 300 needs to be widened, and done. So that brings me to the next conversation with this. So 207 and 300, the intersection there, if you're coming from here and you're going out 207,
Every morning I
for
get
the
caught
life
on
of
it.
me,
Every
I
morning.
can't figure out why. And I've been poking at the state for this. I've been trying to get them to do it this, but they don't have the funding. Why there's not from, we're gonna call it the old K9 Center.
Yeah,
From
I know right where you're going.
Sloan's Furniture.
Yeah, no,
There should be a right-hand lane that goes out and automatically dumps you on
Yeah.
300, and there's plenty of room.
Right,
for it.
right.
every morning.
Oh, no, there's
So-
beautiful potholes you can rail into.
Yeah, so there's plenty of room for that, and I'm like, why you guys are up there doing that? Let's do it all at once,
Right.
Well,
Get rid of the medium too, that dumb thing that just gets weeds in it. you
yeah,
know?
well, that should be all part of a bigger project, but the going out at 207 300, if you're going out west, you got Nick's Hot Dogs on your left.
Mhm.
Right in pretty much across from that, there's a culvert that goes under the road
Okay.
that actually feeds Silver Stream into Washington Lake. Half of that, I'm gonna call it eastbound side coming into town
Mhm.
is a concrete box culvert. The other half going out westbound is a cylindrical pipe that's basically rotted.
It's gone.
It's got no life.
Yeah.
We talked about, when I was on the board, we got the state approach and said, we're gonna do some work there. Okay, great. And then they just stopped the project. I don't know. We had a washout there one day. So I had asked the state, what's going on with this pipe here? Because I want to poke at them to, at some point, extend that, make a right-hand turn lane. Maybe that'll be.
And if
next
we're gonna do it all at once.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So they went down. I actually crawled in the pipe myself, checked it out.
Of course you do.
They sent a crew down there and they're like, this needs to get done right away.
Yeah.
The pipe's in bad shape. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna make a concrete they're gonna abut the new concrete culvert to the old one, so west and eastbound lane. So I said, while you're there, can't we just extend that culvert out, 100 feet, 100 yards, whatever it is? So now a lot of your work is done to go make your right-hand turn lane. And that's not part of their plan apparently, which
But it makes sense.
frustrating. Makes sense, what's frustrating, but I guess sometimes it makes sense, it doesn't.
Just do the first
Um,
part where you said,
so-
just put the turning lane way back. and then
So
you can
they're
get-
gonna actually, sooner rather than later, I know it's out to bid right now. They're looking to replace that section of 207, that culvert pipe. And the plan is to shut 207 down westbound for a couple of months.
Oh my.
So the only eastbound traffic is gonna be allowed in 207, and so the state can only do
Oh, no,
detours
those poor-
on state roads,
Those
so
poor
the
people in
detour,
Parkview are gonna hate us.
well, the detour would be,
Right.
if you got 207, the detour is Little Britain Road to Broadway, Broadway up to 300, left on to 300. You can't use town roads as a detour. with
No,
state
no,
roads.
that's almost
Obviously,
bad.
do we know
Almost
which
bad.
way everybody's gonna go? Of course, we're not stupid.
Ah,
But it's gonna be, so between this, again, I guess you watch what you wish for sometimes. We wanna
Right, yeah.
straighten all this traffic up. It's gonna come with a real pain in the price.
I just can't do it at
Um,
night. You're doing the
Well,
thoroughfares.
that's something
Didn't
that
we
we're
get them
gonna
to
talk
do that
about.
once before, right? Not like last year or something?
Well, they paved it. They did
Okay.
it. We got them to move it to nighttime, but this is obviously far greater. They're not gonna, and I gotta tell you, it adds an extreme cost to the actual contract.
Yeah.
So I gotta be honest, I'm not
Yeah, but
looking.
if the
It-
culvert goes,
It's good. Well, so
Don't
the
have a
Bolton
problem.
Culvert and the 207 and Morrisville Road project is going to be, but the 207 Morrisville Road project, although at one point the town had done some work on it and we paid some money for it back, back
it's
6,
a
7
good
years ago.
timeline too, if they can do.
They
it.
finally, once we went to these meetings, they finally agreed and thanked the county for getting involved and allowing us to move forward. The state has agreed to fund this entire project. So that whole road there is going to get widened based on that.
All right.
Hopefully, I wish they would just do do something there, but it's going to need to be done soon because I've seen the traffic backed up past the railroad tracks going to 5 corners.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
insane. So, but I will tell you that it's coming to be
I don't
It
see
could-
how you could still make
I
it
should
up
put a
there.
toll booth
it
from my
can be a
house.
headache.
That's where they all go. But right there, or Jackson.
yeah.
Right,
Well, that leads us to the next
right.
the ethics disclosure form.
Oh, a
Can't
toll
do
booth. Can I? No, if I disclose it, can I do it?
No.
So, the ethics board obviously meets every couple of months. I had spoken to them a couple of months ago and their wish was to try to have their ethics disclosure form electronic. They're getting a lot of, and it's not like anybody's obviously doing it on purpose, but they're getting a lot of blank spots where somebody would leave their phone number out or forget to sign it or date it. Fast forward to and I think everybody should have a red line copy
Yeah.
of what
Well,
the form
there's
is.
not enough space on it.
So we're actually gonna change the form. And then the form will actually be on a DocuSign document. And then when it comes January, I don't know if Patty knows
Right,
this yet,
you
but
can't go forward without signing
Well,
it.
no,
Yeah.
but
So
you have to fill in the box.
you have to go and you're actually gonna be looking at this, so you see the red line, and it's been moved around a little bit to fit some of the suggestions from the law office and the ethics board on how we want to do this. So once we approve this, if you guys look at it, if you like it, you're okay with it, we're gonna vote on it, just to change the form. This form will then be created in DocuSign, and then each member is gonna get. I just have to figure out with Patty, so the ethics board meets tomorrow morning at 11, they're having a Zoom call, I'm gonna hop on there with them. Just to tell them what, if they're not watching it, tell them what kind of input you folks had. If you like it, we just need to figure out the workflow from this, and the workflow would be. DocuSign will send notices, hey, listen, you need to fill it out, it's getting close, so it's a little less that Patty's gotta do. There are, I'm sure, gonna be 1 or 2 or 3 people that are gonna need to fill it out. Hand fill out.
I don't mind.
I think we're gonna have to have them maybe come in and have, either they can print the form online or we'll have them come to you and print it one way or another.
If they
listen,
just let me know who wants
I-
one
I
printed, I'll
would
make
be-
sure. I just don't wanna have like a bunch.
I mean, they're all employees. I'd be almost willing, if somebody really is struggling with it, we can get them in here and sit in a computer and I'll help fill out the boxes. It's not that hard, And I think there are, in fairness, there was a few people related to me that I think are gonna be difficult to try to use this on a computer, so they're gonna be, they're gonna be tapping in some, so, but we'll get to have it. I won't mention his name. But so once, like I said, this will be approved, at the meeting.
You're live in January.
This will be live in January.
Now, am I gonna have to send something out or is it gonna
No,
be?
we're gonna do this, but I gotta be honest with you, there's a chance, and just forgive me if you watching too if they did it, but, this may end up getting approved in January. I don't know. I know the last conversation with Jess was maybe January because our meetings were January 7th. And nobody but me is the only one that January 1st is the one that fills it out and hands it back in the same day. So I would say that if it's not next month, or this month or on Wednesday, then it'll be in January that it gets approved. But this is the way we're gonna suggest that people fill out this form. It's stored on the computer. It's only accessible to the DocuSign document. It's only accessible to the ethics board and ethics board only. And nobody else gonna be diving into the back end of it, I don't think. Danielle,
Each person
right?
can have it, like their
She's over
own.
there smiling. Look, she's already gonna. Yeah, no, that was the purpose of making sure, we're gonna establish each, ethics board member is gonna have a town email and they're gonna make an email group for them. So they'll be, that's how they're gonna, when somebody fills it out, it's gonna go to the group, they'll see it, they can look at it. They have any questions, they can kick it back or do what they gotta do. So, but the workflow is in progress. We're gonna figure out how, what, I think you're gonna be doing far less now. It's gonna be a lot easier, I believe, but work in progress. I'm sure it may have a hiccup or two, but we always figure it out. Just so you guys know, we obviously got to vote on, we do this every year, the 2026 rates for our ambulance service. I think everybody has, if you look, I obviously can do the math next, but each one, how they're going up, from one year to the next. With that, the law has also pointed out, because I probably voted on it, but I forget, we had done a 3-year agreement with NUVAC when we first did the in 2023, and it's up. So we're gonna, I know the law office and myself, we commented, and the comptroller's office had some comments. We wanted to see some edits on this and sent it to the ambulance court for them to, review the edits. If they like it, we're just gonna approve. Now, we're gonna just do a 3-year contract again with them. Approve the 3-year with them. I think it worked out well for us. We don't, I know Judge State's rather see it a year, because each year she knows she has to do it. When it's 3 years, it comes down to this, and it gets to be quite, we have to do it right away. But this is gonna probably be approved as well in perhaps maybe in January when we do the standard schedule of fees, because that's where this is. And it's that we're okay with that. But this is the increase, this is the rates increase, there'll be charges. And mainly, this is a lot of other insurance companies and stuff like that. We still do, if you saw the one thing in there, with the invoices and how you write people off, especially town residents and stuff, how that works, that'll continue, to operate that way. So, I appreciate it. And obviously, I think I would imagine I'm speaking for everybody, we got a pretty damn good ambulance.
Yeah, we do.
That we never have any worries about. Matter of fact, a lot of people, use them as an example. So
That's
we appreciate everything they do for us. Plus, Michael got his new garage door, so better.
Michael was the, what's it called? The vetting.
Oh,
He was the-
Oh, the officiant?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the last thing on here for the public side is the standard inflow fee. So I think, as you guys remember, last month, we edited the standard schedule of fees. We kind of did a little fee structure. We did New Windsor, town resident, Orange County resident, and then non-Orange County resident. With that, brought a few concerns or questions from one particular funeral home. I had a conversation with the gentleman. I know Patty had a conversation with him. They, I'm not gonna say he was wrong, but the way they handled it, I didn't appreciate, because after the conversation with them, I set up a meeting with maybe 5 or 6 of the normal funeral operators we have. And then in the meantime, I get an email from some association, Funeral Directors Association. This person went to them and complained without waiting to have the meeting, which was kind of productive, if you ask me. Anyway, I went forward. I had Sullivan from Quigley. I had Rich Sullivan. I had Mike Brooks here. I had a couple of the funeral directors in here. We all went over. So we obviously have the standard schedule of fees, which they like. Prior to them coming here, the cemetery guys, along with Patty, kind of recognized some of their concerns after some of the phone calls. And they changed some of the figures here. If you see in red, I think everybody's got it. So they changed some of the figures here to kind of make it a little easier for them. And when they come in here, I think they were kind of loaded to, let's do what we got to do. And then they realized that the numbers that they changed it to were going to work out for everybody. So they were happy with it. So I don't know, I think everybody has that. The red line copy. Yeah. So so we're gonna approve, the standard schedule of fees, we're gonna approve the new, fees for, we're removing some like snow and ice removal. There was a couple interesting things that came up in it that I don't know, I guess people do some crazy things, but, I had no idea, but there was like, they were actually very helpful. Us, the funeral directors, they were kind of giving us some pointers and tips on things that we need to look for. Like we don't have a charge now, which I think is something we're going to add in the not too distant future. Somebody would come in and say, listen, we want to put a name on this headstone, and we look at our records and they say, well, that person's not in there. Come to find out that they had actually gone back one night in the middle of the night and dug and put cremains in there.
Oh.
And don't tell anybody, and they
Yeah.
just want to put on there. So if somebody wants to go put a name on it, we're gonna like, fine, pay us $950 and go put the name on there. So there's gonna be a charge in that. We're coming to find out that I guess people do that. It's just a short way out for them. It's the easy way. But we're gonna kind of tighten up a little bit in reference to that to try to capture any of that lost revenue, if you will, for people that are doing that.
Okay.
With why we had the funeral directors here, we got talking about columbarium, but the ashes and all stuff that put them in with a niche and all stuff.
Yeah.
I've been looking. I've been trying to talk to a company that's did one in out in Woodbury or Blooming Grove. They did a pretty kind of nice one. We got a couple nice spots down there. I was talking to Dorian with it. It's actually going to be we could definitely, and they're saying that the trend is starting to change where more and more people are getting cremated, where
Correct.
more and more people are going to need that.
Yes.
So that, and they brought up and they want us to do maybe double deck burials, which we don't really do now, which requires a lot more shoring, and and they're saying I guess the cemetery's got a lot of sand base in there, so they're afraid
Yeah,
that
it's hard.
God forbid they don't want to do it, and the money's not worth it, so hurt obviously. So we're as far as revenue goes, we're definitely looking into trying to do some sort of cremains niche or something. Or maybe start something small, holds maybe 15, 20 of them, and then see what kind of return on investment we do with that, and we'll on it. But I think we could definitely, and some of these, Dave did a lot of work on obviously the numbers here, and some folks were, I think people are flocking up here from down south, citywide and stuff, because they see that we're basically giving away ground where they're paying far more down there.
Well, it's limited over
And
there.
it's not fair to the town taxpayer, so we're gonna capture that in there, so. But there's gonna probably be a little more coming out, but that standard schedule of fees are gonna be changed, and I think they'll be happy. I know I did have a follow-on conversation with Mike Brooks, the next day, and he's really kind of pushing to have everybody come just here and pay for everything. Cut out.
He doesn't want to be responsible if someone's not a New Windsor resident.
Yeah.
And understandable,
Yeah, right.
so that's fine.
No, and I get it. I think, that checks and balances come from us, and we know we capture that funds. And, at the end of the day, I don't know what mechanism he has, but I guess if somebody shorts us in a sense, I guess we got a legal way to go after them, where they're probably, it's funny, I had asked them, I said, I gotta ask you guys, any of you guys ever like come out of your own pocket for that? And they all come out of their chairs. Are you kidding me? They have a lot of people that just can't afford to be buried and stuff like that, but they end up, they end up working together and they agree for it. So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know really, and so they do. These guys, it was a very interesting meeting, but kind of enlightening.
Did any of them measure you?
But yeah, exactly. No, there's no putting me in a hole. So that's basically it. Anybody else got anything or?
No, but I would like to.
Well, before you do that, I just want to, I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. I know this is our last workshop of 2025. And then obviously our board meeting Wednesday will be the last one of 2025. And if anybody's watching now and doesn't watch Wednesday, I want to wish everybody a happy and safe holiday coming up. Christmas and New Year's and everything.
When's your Hanukkah lighting? When is the menorah lighting?
Yeah.
No?
On Monday or
Yeah.
Tuesday?
That is.
That's how I used to treat it.
Well, this
Saturday-
Saturday
Saturday's
is
the
the tree lighting, and it's
Yeah,
our
there's stuff going on all
our
day. There's the
farmers,
market.
yeah, the
and
market
then-
downstairs and whatever.
The 15th? Yeah, the 15th.
And
Monday.
the 15th,
At 6 or 7.
so 6.
Right.
So we're I don't know, we're moving right along here. I know we got some, we got our 108 World Trade Way is closing soon. Actually Thursday, I think, is our closing date. So
Whoa,
that's
party.
we were able to negotiate 100,000 more than what we got a estimate for, so that's 550 and some revenue. The Raz Avenue, I'm not certain exactly where, I think we're close to that, right, or no?
9:30
Yeah, closer.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, in the next day or two. I'm not that right yet, we're waiting. Folks from abilities, but.
Yeah. Yeah, right, there's so many.
We're waiting on them, on the title.
Oh, okay, I guess they didn't like that, or they gave.
No, I don't know that they'll call
Yeah,
it,
right.
I recommended that they do so, but. And so, less than I heard.
So nearly 15 years of messing around with that school up there that we got nowhere with, we're gonna be done with it soon.
Wow.
We throw, I don't know, I think it was 500-ish in the bank that we were able to negotiate with them. Technically, it should have been all lost, but the
Mhm.
government did okay with us, so we'll take it and run, so that's good, we'll get rid of that. Yeah, and that's it. Steve, I know you said something.
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session because I think we should talk about justice court and police department.
And I would second that.
Oh, thank you.
Roll call?
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Santiago,
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yeah.
Councilman Burrow,
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it takes little baby steps. We'll figure it out. Sorry, Patty. I probably should